catching the hashtag replay. I'm not going to be before you long. And what we got here is the Cyborg Redeemer. Y'all, if you want it, click the link in the description box so you can get it. Pre-order. Available everywhere February 21st. So without further delay, y'all, I'm going to read an excerpt out of here. This is the Cyborg Redeemer, Chapter 7. When Elim was 22. Elim and Naomi were down in the lab racing against the clock, trying to create something new. For Elim, he did this to keep his mind sharp, his tech sharper, and his love for Naomi the sharpest. She always brought the best out of him, like sunshine after a rainstorm. It was because of this that he made a personal vow to make her life easier and safer, and he was doing just that. What he didn't realize was Naomi made a similar vow and was holding to it as if her life depended on it. This caused many inventions to be made at one time, and the Neo-Edens and surrounding countries were thankful for their minds. One more for Naomi, as her adventures would always be better out of the two. Ever since she won the competition some microbytes back, everyone who had a tech company or money wanted to invest and work with her, and she always agreed to it. Her only rule was that they had to bring Elim on. This made him extremely happy, as he was the same way when companies wanted to work with him. He always invited his wife, Naomi. Because they did this, it led both of them to invent tech that revolutionized the world. Each day, they would compete with each other to see who made the better version or the fastest of a blueprint they both drew. Looks like I beat you again, Naomi said, leaning her head into Elim's chest. They were working on an equation that would optimize the AI in their house. I guess you did, Elim hugged her back. You are one of the smartest people I know. And what you come up with can be attributed to the power of Yah. To Yah be the glory. She faced him before resting her head against his chest. Elim hugged her back when he noticed some scattered blueprints he hadn't seen before. He reached over her, causing her head to follow his hands. What is this? He examined the blueprint with a look of admiration on his face. You've been holding out on me? He smiled as he studied them intensely. Oh, these. She grabbed his hand, placing her finished work on top. Those are a gift for Boaz. A thank you for introducing me to you and being the best friend anyone could ask for. Her finger traced up his chest, almost making him forget what he wanted to say. Almost. Nice try. He grabbed her hand, sealing him with a kiss. It won't work today. I want details. Fine. I designed Boaz a dinner-by-day, lounge-by-night restaurant. The entire system will be built off the word of Yah through the power of the upgrade and can be utilized and controlled by our praise. Naomi's voice grew happier and happier with each word. Elim picked up the designs and looked at him with a fresh pair of eyes. He couldn't believe someone invented something so genius. I didn't think I could love you more than I already do, but you never cease to amaze me. He wrapped his arms around her waist, pulling her in for a passionate kiss. I am so thankful to y'all that I listened to Boaz when he said, marry her. I'm thankful as well. She held out her wrist. I was skeptical, but from the moment I met you, you made me feel safe. Elim's head tilted in response to her statement. Why were you skeptical? Naomi smiled. Elim, you're extremely competitive when it comes to being an inventor. That is what I admired the most and what I fell in love with. Naomi placed her head on his chest. But the very thing I fell in love with made me skeptical, because I didn't want to spend my entire marriage competing with my husband. You really think I would have been competing with you? Elim, it's not like you would have done it it's not like you would have gone out of your way to compete with me. It would have been in your subconscious to always outdo me. I didn't want that, so I prayed on it, and y'all came through. Hello, if you're joining, I'm reading an excerpt out of my book called The Cyborg Redeemer. This book is actually based off of a story in the Bible called the Book of Ruth. This entire science fiction story with lasers and androids and cyborgs and teleportation and hover cars is all based off of a story in the Bible called the Book of Ruth. Why the Book of Ruth? Ask God, because if it was up to me, I would have wrote about Solomon. But here we are. Getting back to it. He did, which is why I made a decision. She pulled away from Elim, looking directly into his soul with those big, beautiful eyes. After I finish the blueprints for Boaz's business, I'll be shifting my focus on other areas of my life. What does that mean? Elim questioned. I will be using my intelligence to help my family, she smiled. Family? It's just you and I. Elim smiled. Naomi rolled her eyes and focused them right on Elim. Wait, he tilted his head. Then revelation hit him like the flood did the people during the days of Noah. Naomi, you pregnant? He screamed from the depths of his soul. He just smiled as he picked her up from the ground, giving her a spin. He couldn't believe he was going to be a dad and that his amazing wife was going to be a mom. Well, there's another surprise. He placed her hand he placed her hand on the table regarding disregarding the papers in the blueprint. We're having twins. Eli passed out, clean out from the news. Naomi sat on the table for a minute before whispering, "Hallelujah." The AI voice glitched for a split breath before correcting itself. Water provided. She threw it on his face, waking him up slowly in the process. She straddled him, laying her soft afro on his rapidly beating chest. He wrapped his arms around her in disbelief. "I'm going to be a dad of twins," he taught. "Twins?" "We're going to be parent to twins," he whispered to Naomi. "Yes, we are." Naomi closed her eyes, wanting to savor this moment for life. Elim sat up, causing her to lift her head with him. He looked at her differently than he ever did. Naomi was just a girl. He'd been the love of his life since he was a child. She was now his wife and the mother of his twins. He loved her so much that he didn't think his love for her could grow to this magnitude. "Naomi, hear me when I tell you this," he said. "I vow to take care of you and love you and my twins forever." He held her like he never did before. "I vow to love you the way y'all love us." "And I vow to do the same," she replied. He just held her, not wanting to end this moment. He knew if he trusted y'all, he could have this moment forever. Yes, y'all, that was actually all of, I think, chapter 7. I think I read all of chapter 7 of my book, The Cyborg Redeemer. My Cyborg Redeemer, y'all, this is a book that is based off of a book in the Bible. It's called the Book of Ruth. And that is what I based my science fiction book off of. There's lasers, there's cyborgs, there's androids, there's hover cars, there's teleportation, there's multiversal jumping, all happening in this book, y'all. Get these likes up, get these likes up. All y'all in here, get these likes up. All of that is happening in this book, y'all. I wrote this book because, like I said, God told me to retell the Book of Ruth. And the beauty part about this, y'all, is that I used AAVE, Ebonics, African American Vernacular English, to retell my story. Yes, y'all, in true Black History Month fashion, I used Ebonics, AAVE, African American Vernacular English, to retell the story. You're going to read it, you're going to be like, I was like, I know, this is what happened. Like I said, y'all, if it was up to me, I would have retold Solomon. I would have retold Solomon if I was to pick it, but God told me himself, "I need you to retell the Book of Ruth. I need you to make it science fiction or Afrofuturistic, and I need you to use Ebonics when you do it." So I was like, okay, I can do that. And I'm happy that I did. And I love every moment about the fact that I wrote a book that, y'all, I do have other stories coming out this year, y'all. Not only the Book of Ruth, I might release some other stories this year, or I might focus just solely on this book right here. Y'all, I'm so proud of my book. I'm glad that you guys are here. And yes, y'all. And also, y'all, for those of you that don't know, when I write stories, because of what he told me, all my stories are written in Ebonics or AAVE. All of them. All of them are written in AAVE. All of them are written in AAVE. All of them follow that grammar structure. All of them. There is not a story that I'm writing outside of this. This included all of my stories written about the Bible. I have a story called Wendy Darling Hook. I have a story called Cadence World. Go right here on this page. Go read it. The Dragon Master, right here on this page. Go read it. All that's written in AAVE. All that's written in Ebonics. All of it. 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 I want you to all know this now. So when you read my books, you'll be like, "Unc, why is it written?" Because I can be. This is an acceptable way of writing. Author's poetic license. I'm going to write using my culture, my history, my language, and I advise every single person who's listening to me to write using their culture, their language, and their history as well, y'all. Because I'm here to provide you hope. I hope that when you read my book, you're like, wow, if he can do it, so can I. Because I'm just a guy sitting on this here in my house, on my bed, with the shirt on, with a book. Make sure who's ever watching this, subscribe, you guys. My food is almost done. What else? Y'all? Oh, yes, y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you grab a copy. Share this video, like, comment, subscribe, share, and come back. Yeah, y'all, your favorite uncle loves you always, and there's nothing you can do about it. Of course, I'll be live tomorrow. So see you tomorrow around this time. and I'll go live.